Good morning, everyone. Love the energy in the room this morning. Good morning, good morning. Well, thanks for being here this morning, and welcome to the 2017 annual meeting of our Southern California PGA, and welcome to Newport Beach Country Club. It's a great honor to have you here today, and as your president, we're presiding over the meeting. We've got a few things to accomplish. Today we're going to recognize many of our high achievers today. We're going to conduct our annual elections, and we'll review our officer reports with you. So this time, though, to get the meeting underway, I'd like to welcome up our Club Fitter of the Year, Mr. Chris Lesson, to do the national anthem.
Morning. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, we're done. Chris, phenomenal job. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite up our Golf Professional of the Year, Mr. Eric Lohman, to do invocation. Reverend? Chris, is that in? Made it audible. No? We'd like to surprise our guests.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do the invocation.
Yes, you're on.
Okay, everybody, please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this opportunity to be with our fellow golf professionals, to be here at the beautiful and majestic Newport Beach Country Club. I would like to, God bless the group and our families, and enjoy the day. Thank you. Amen.
And that's why he's Golf Professional of the Year. That was awesome. Next, I'd like to invite up our Metro President, Mr. Vic Placeris, to say a few words of welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Metro chapter, we'd like to welcome everybody to the beautiful Newport Beach Country Club, and also thank you all for making the travel from wherever you came from. We hope you enjoy the annual meeting.
Thank you, Vic. Next on the agenda, we've got our secretary, Mr. Robin Shelton, to approve our meeting minutes and do a roll call.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 annual meeting minutes were posted on the SCPGA website. Would like to take this opportunity to get a motion to approve the minutes. And is there a second? If there are no objections, I'll be asked to be approved by consensus. Are there any objections? Great, thank you. Would like to jump into roll call real quickly. If this is your first time coming to a PJ annual meeting, welcome. For those of you that have been here before, welcome back. We like to do part of each meeting a roll call, where we ask all of you to stand up, say who you are and where you're from. This gives us a little bit of chance to know who you are, and for those of us who may have forgotten your name or can't read your little badge, it helps us know who you are as well. So we will start with the very far left corner of the room and work our way to the right. So Mr. Choi, would you like to introduce yourself and where you're from? Well, thank you all for that. It's good to see there was only one new pro emeritus in the room from when we started. I will tell you, I did sit next to Jay Priscilla last night during the dinner, and he did tell me he's more than welcome and happy to share his golf course with any of you at any time, especially on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. So, Jay, thank you. And again, for those first-timers that it's the first time to your meeting, welcome, and we are glad you are here. Would like to take a quick moment as we look back on this year. We did unfortunately lose four. We lost four just friends of our association as well as golf professionals. We lost them far too early. So if we could just bow our heads and have a quick moment of silence for these professionals. Thank you. With that, Mr. Kiefer.
Well, one of the names that I think stands out amongst those on the memoriam is Chris Thomas, and that's normally John McNair, our honorary president, would be here with us today, and he's actually up representing us at their annual meeting today. So our thoughts and prayers are with the Thomas family in particular today. At this point, we do want to celebrate, though, our half-century award winners, Phil Rogers, Terry Wilcox, and Lee Martin. And we have one of them here today with us. 50 years is an unbelievable amount of time to dedicate to anything, and particularly to this great game. And we're very honored to present Lee Martin with his 50-year award. Lee was at Setakoi for over 20 years and is at River Ridge today and teaching. And would Lee like to come up and say a few words, and just a big round of applause for your...
Well, this is quite an honor. It's been a long ride. The days have gone by kind of slow, but the years have flown by. There's a lot of people in this room that I owe a lot to. People like John Fiedler, Susan Sipes, who's here, my boss, Pat Riley, Mr. Eddie Marins, Tom Addis. I go back to Howard Smith and Marilyn O'Pace, who used to run this section. And this is probably the most innovative section in the country. I've been in two other sections, and they don't hold a candle to this section. Perry Dickey, he was instrumental. He was inspired me to stay in the section. Bill Hulbert, being on his teaching committee, Ron O'Connor, being on the rules committee with him. So I could go on and on, but those people, and I'm sure I didn't name all the people that I'd like to name, but it would take forever. But it's good to see a lot of these people in this room. Thank you, and thanks. It's been a wonderful ride. It's been a good ride, and it's not over.
Be careful. Congratulations, Lee. We have a few other distinguished guests here in the audience today. We've got our past presidents, so when you hear your name, if you don't mind standing up, and we'll do a round of applause at the end. Andy Tooney, Perry Dickey, Pat Riley, Bill Hulbert, Jeff Johnson, David Foster, Patrick Casey, and Tom Addis. Gentlemen, thank you very much. And thanks for everybody's patience for the roll call. It's really kind of nice, helps to kind of expedite some of the other introductions that we've got here today. But we are honored to have our allied associations here represented with the SCGA, our Executive Director, Kevin Heaney, and Government Relations, Craig Kessler. Also, Jason Canterbury, who's going to come up and say a few words on our financial position at this point. Also, Mr. Ken Farrell for the employment consultant. And we just really appreciate all of the work that we've been able to kind of do together this last year and look forward to another productive year in 2018. At this point, we are going to get into some of our special award winners. David Foster is our coach, or is our chair this year, and I'll invite Mr. Foster up to recognize our big award winners.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's my honor to be up here again this year to list our winners. Last night, each one of them was honored at the President's Dinner. If you were there, it was quite a celebration. They all got to speak last night, so what we're going to do today is I'm just going to call off the winners. Please hold your applause until the end, and then at the end, we're going to have our Golf Professional of the Year, Eric Lohman, come up and say a few words. But our winners this year, Player Development Award went to Steve Adamiak from the Legend Golf Club. Our Merchandiser of the Year for Resorts went to Eric Wilson from the Grand Golf Club. Our Merchandiser of the Year Privates went to Marianne Huning from Bel Air Country Club. Merchandiser of the Year Public went to Alan Schur from Steel Canyon Golf Club. Our Club Fitter of the Year, Chris Lesson from Del Mar Golf Club. And what a gift, that voice. Holy cow, incredible. Our Assistant Professional of the Year went to Eric Mitchell from Anaheim Hills Golf Club. Our Youth Player Development Award went to Joe Groman from the Navy Golf Club. Our Bill Strasbaugh Award winner went to Eric Lohman from Monarch Beach Golf Links. Our Horton Smith winner is Tony Latendre from Professional Golfers Career College. Our Teacher of the Year, Bob Madsen from Sequan Resort. Our Golf Professional again of the Year this year was Eric Lohman from Monarch Beach Golf Link. And now we'll take a round of applause for all of them. And Eric, if you could come on up. Congratulations to all of you. Perfect. And we're going to play a little video for you to enjoy. So don't go to sleep yet.
Eric Lohman currently serves as the general manager of Monarch Beach Golf Links and has a long-standing involvement with the Southern California PGA. A PGA member since 2000, Eric has served for several years on the board of directors for the Metro chapter, as well as actively participating across several section committees. Eric is currently on the section board of directors and is responsible for creating the annual chapter challenge, as well as reintroducing the Southern California Open. We are proud to announce Eric Lohman as your 2017 Golf Professional of the Year. In addition, Lohman is the recipient of the 2017 Bill Strasbaugh Award, recognizing his work for career development among PGA professionals. A natural leader, Lohman was instrumental in developing the inaugural Industry Influencer Series as an arm of the Mentorship Committee, which he is also the chairperson of. We asked some of Lohman's peers why they think he deserves the Golf Professional of the Year award.
He pushes everybody and inspires everybody around him to be better. He's a family man, he's creative, he's a team player, and he really is a hard worker.
He is a no-holds-barred businessman. He does whatever it takes to get the job done, and he gets it done fast.
Who makes Eric Eric? I believe it was Mr. and Mrs. Lohman made Eric Eric.
Eric is supportive. You know, he's going to push you and drive you to be better every day. But he'll always be the first one right behind you to ask you how he can help. What tools do you need to get the job done? And he'll be there at the end of the job when you're cleaning up. He'll just be right alongside you.
He lets you screw things up. He shows you what you did wrong, and then he lets you try it again.
I've been very lucky in the 3 years that I've worked for him that he's challenged me in ways that I never thought that he would, and I've learned more in my 3 years than I ever thought that I could.
I've been working with Eric for about a year now. I share an office with him, and it's been the most inspiring year of my career. I've learned more in the last 12 months than I did in the first 15 years of my golf career.
Very excited to be part of my first roast, especially that it's for Eric Lohman, so it's, you know, obviously pretty easy to come up with stuff, but oh, Oh, it's not a roast. My mistake. But nonetheless, we're here for Eric Lohman. He's a fantastic boss. Congratulations to you, my friend. And have a great night and good luck tomorrow.
What do I enjoy about Eric? How he can shoot a 66 in the first round of the section championship and follow it up with an 83.
Congratulations, Mr. Lohman. When you fail, you stand alone, but when you succeed, the world is celebrate with you. Again, congratulations on your achievement and more.
I'd like to take a moment to congratulate Eric Lohman on the 2 awards he's receiving this evening. Eric, great job, well done, well deserved. Congratulations. Probably don't say this enough to you, but thank you for everything you're doing for this section, everything you're doing for Monarch, and everything you've done for me in my career so far. It's been about 9 years that we've worked together, and I wouldn't give any of them back. Thank you, buddy.
Eric, congratulations on winning the Golf Profession of the Year and Bill Strasburg Award for 2017. You deserve it. Thanks for everything that you've taught me. Back 10 years ago, you hired me out of Japan with Scott Hine, and I think Scott and I have done well for ourselves, and we learned a lot from you, and we'll continue to learn from you. So keep making things happen, and congratulations again.
Elo, hey bro, sorry about all that. Just want to say congrats to you, congrats to your family. You deserve it as much as anybody in this section. Hopefully you take this and win the national as well, because you sure as hell aren't going to do it playing golf.
Well deserved, good sir. Dilly dilly.
I love you, Dad. Congratulations. Congratulations, Uncle Elo. We love you.
Eric, congratulations. This is Michael O'Keefe. For one brief shining moment in the 1970s, I portrayed a character named Danny Noonan. So from all of us at the Caddy Shack to you, be the ball.
And with that, we'd like to congratulate Eric Lohman for his 2017 Southern California PGA Golf Professional of the Year Award.
Thank you very much. Last night was a special evening, and I just wanted to say thank you to the section staff and the folks here at Newport Beach Country Club for putting on a nice show, and David Foster, who actually, for a few years was an employee of mine, and for putting up with us and doing this special awards committee. But most importantly, I just want to thank my staff that's in the room. There's a few people here from Black Gold and Oak Creek and Monarch Beach, and you guys mean the world to me. So thank you.
Congratulations, Eric. Well deserved. Well deserved. We also have a few other award winners to kind of acknowledge our 2017 Players of the Year. So again, if you hear your name, just please stand up and be recognized. Our Section Player of the Year from Goose Creek, Mr. Kenny Pigman. Our Women's Player of the Year from Wood Ranch Golf Club, Allison Kurt. Our Super Senior Player of the Year from Hillcrest Country Club, Paul Wise. Our Apprentice Player of the Year from Friendly Hills, Raj Samra. Our Women's Apprentice Player of the Year from Seacliff, Erica Ilagan. Sorry, Erica. We also have a special presentation coming up here for the Senior Player of the Year. And with that, I'd like to invite Gary Sawinski and Chris Starkjohn for a special presentation.
All of us in this room have developed friendships through competition. You learn when you play with somebody what kind of person they are. Playing with Mr. Fiedler, and we do call him Mr., you learn that he has a great respect for his fellow competitor and a great respect for the game. And with that, we'd like to have John come up here. Chris and I have found friendships with John through practice rounds and multiple things, and we have a special gift for John. Go ahead.
Well, most of you don't probably know, but he won the Mid-Senior Player of the Year award a couple of years ago, and I think he'll be the only one to ever win that. So for him to keep this kind of streak going, we've got him a special gift that he won't ever hit what we call the Johnny shot again.
And you'll have to explain a little of that.
eBay packs it pretty good.
Before I open this up, I would like to say to the section and to the seniors, it is quite an honor to win this award. It really touches my heart before I open this up.
He's a 4-time senior section 2 player of the year.
And throughout this year, it was fun beating up on Sawinski, but kind of the only reason I won this award this year is because Starkjohn didn't play. So maybe in 2018, I'll beat up on him too.
Good luck.
Reach deep in there.
Tom Barber might be interested in this club too.
This is only the beginning. Now go deep. You should have found something in there.
Thank you, Jerry Barber.
It's a shankless 4-iron.
I've got an amazing stat with the Jerry Barber iron. During my competition, I've shanked shots in 5 majors, whether it be U.S. Open, San Diego Open, LA Open. Out of those 5 times, I've got it up and down for par 4 times.
All right, well, we'll continue on with our other 2017 major champions of the year. So again, when you hear your name, please stand up. Our section champion and match play champion from Arroyo Trabuco, Mr. Michael Block. Our senior champion from Buena Vista, Alan Sorensen Sr. Our women's champion from Wood Ranch, Allison Kurt. Our super senior champion from the Hodges, Gary Sawinski. And our assistance champion from Goose Creek, Kenny Pigman. Big round of applause for our major champions. In the team area, we've got 4 different teams to recognize, and we're not going to worry about getting through all of them, but want to recognize the Senior Challenge Match group headed by Jerry Wiz and David Foster. I know there's probably a lot of guys in the room. If you're a part of this team out of Santa Maria that won 21-15 earlier this year in August, will you please stand if you're part of the Senior Challenge Match team, please, and be recognized for your win? Our Apprentice Association played up at Saddleback Golf Club earlier in November. Unfortunately, they came up just a little bit short, but if that team could please stand up and be recognized for participating in your great achievement in qualifying for the team. Any of our apprentices. We have 2 matches that are coming up. Our Women's Cup matches at Mission Hills Country Club will be taking place December the 7th and 8th. And our captain is Kimberly Falcone. She'll be heading that team. Brandy Brandywine, Yumi Chung, Allison Kurt, Erica Ilagan, Heather King, Sarah Ovadia, Jackie Regal, and Ronnie Valario. Are any of those team members here today? If you could please stand and be recognized. We wish you the very, very best of luck in that competition. And then later in December, we've got our California Cup matches, which will be captained we have 2 captains this year, Mr. Jim Gormley and Mr. Mark Wilson. Those team members, if you could please stand when you hear your name: Michael Block, Rick Garboski, Chris Gilly, Chris Limpa, Kenny Pigman, Alan Shear, Brian Smock, and Vinny Poncino. If you guys could please stand, a big round of applause, and wish you congratulations. Should be a great competition that's going to be at the Valley Club, and hopefully the weather is just as nice as it is today. So, Ariana, are you ready for the next one? Before we start this video, it was a great, I think many of you know that our executive director, Tom Mattis, has had an unbelievable career. We wanted to take a few minutes and share a little video with you of his recent Hall of Fame induction. So we'll go ahead and play the video.
Tom Mattis, who currently serves as the CEO and Executive Director of the Southern California section of the PGA, is a longtime golf professional who served as President of the PGA of America from 1995 to 1996. During his impressive career, Mattis has received numerous accolades, including the PGA of America's Horton Smith Award, the NCPGA's Langley Legends Award, the Conrad Relling Award from the Special Olympics, and the National PGA Golf Professional of the Year, just to name a few. Mattis's impact on the game is visible through all those he's influenced over the years.
Tom is a very interesting individual.
I can tell you that his sense of humor is remarkable.
He would walk around the shop with a feather duster. That was always our big joke. Tom would get there before anyone else.
He's just always making jokes, so I don't know, I can't say one thing in particular, but just that's his personality.
But his biggest accomplishments, I think, are also his relationships. He's always the first person that everybody wants to see and say hello to, regardless of the event.
I think there's so many things that we all love about him that have kind of shaped all of us on our path of life to become who we are.
I never felt that I worked for Tom. You know, I always felt that I worked with Tom, and we really created that team atmosphere. And again, we worked really hard, but we had a lot of fun while we did it.
What inspires me the most about Tom is his relationship with his wife, Susan. I think that really connects with me a lot, and my wife.
If you use the term a servant's heart, he embodies that on every level, impacts us all by his dedication to service, his commitment to all that's good about the game and business of golf.
He really is the quintessential golf professional. Even for all the years that he's been in the game, he still is passionate about so many issues.
Being president of the PGA of America, I think, is a great accomplishment of Tom, but also then after doing that, coming back, loving his section so much, and coming back as the executive director and CEO of the Southern Cal PGA for so many years in his position he has today, I think that's a wonderful testimony to someone who loves the PGA of America golf professional.
He's always been so humble, and you would never know that he was the president of the largest sports organization in the world.
I would say the biggest thing is just his leadership and how many people love him.
But I think if I were in his shoes, the thing that would make me most proud, all the people that he's influenced in his career that have gone on to their own successful careers. I can't repay him what he's done for me in my career. All I can do is do that for others like he did for me.
Congratulations, Tom.
Congratulations, TA.
Aloha, Tom. Congratulations from all of us in Hawaii.
Congratulations, Tommy.
Tom, congratulations.
Congratulations, Tom.
Congratulations, Tom.
Congratulations, buddy. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us. Well, Tom, on behalf of the SCGA board and staff, we congratulate you for a very well-deserved honor and welcome you into the SCGA Hall of Fame.
We're not going to have Tom say any words more today. He talked a lot last night, but I want to tell you thank you for, on behalf of the staff and the officers, we just appreciate your leadership. And you've been a great mentor to many of us in the room. And I know that it was great to see you and the family be inducted into the SCGA Hall of Fame. So again, congratulations. Yeah. As we turn our focus into our Southern California PGA Hall of Fame and our honorary life members, I'd like to ask if you're an honorary life member, if you could just please stand and be recognized. Honorary life member. I know we've got a few in the room. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Last night we got to add Mr. Tom Barber to that list, so Tom, congratulations on being added to honorary life member. Welcome. In our Hall of Fame, if you're a Hall of Famer already in our section, will you please also stand up and be recognized? All the Hall of Famers, congratulations. So we added 2 more to that list, and actually we added 3. Mr. Frank Beard was not able to attend, but Frank Beard, Jeff Johnson, and Bill Hulbert, congratulations, and gentlemen, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Kind of catching a theme in terms of recognition, I think for those of us that attended the national meeting in Austin, you really kind of see it's really important that we kind of recognize all these achievements, and we do appreciate your encouragement and round of applause. So we've got a couple more to go through. Last night I wasn't able to kind of attend this, but this year decided that our President's Award winner would go to Todd Yoshitake at the Riviera Country Club. You know, Todd's dedication to our foundation classic and encouraging, and those dollars are nearly over $100,000 that have been generated so far are critical to the mission of our foundation. And so Todd, I just wanted to have you come up and receive a little recognition on behalf of the section for all the great work that you've done. And definitely invite players if you want to play. We should have another great event here in February at Riviera Country Club. But Todd Yoshitake. One more person to recognize before we kind of keep the program going. You know, the tournaments and the tournament committee is a big commitment and responsibility, and since 2010, Mark Wilson has been that captain of our tournament committee. And Mark, if you could just stand up wherever you are and be recognized for all your leadership. He's going to be taking a step down. He's going to stay on the committee, but I just want to recognize those years of service by Mr. Mark Wilson. And a little bit more here to go. Kevin Martin, the CEO, and all the guys in blue. If you guys could just stand up and be recognized. Kevin Martin and Carlo Barunda, Casey Cott, Ron Benedict, Rachel Putnam, and many others. Incredible job here at this club. It's unbelievably great. The hospitality's been fantastic. Dinner was great last night, and we're looking forward to the golf today. So thank you very much for having us. At this time, I'll have Mr. David Kuhn come up and talk about, I think he's got a few sponsors to introduce, and we'll make our way through the program.
How we doing? I just want to thank everybody for coming out, and most importantly, thank our partners. My name is Dave Kuhn. I've been with the section now for on and off 5 years and just transitioned into this new role, so we're looking forward to having a great 2018, but more importantly, we want to keep this day going, and a couple of our partners wanted to come up and say thank you. First, from Wilson Sporting Goods, Clayton Brown.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me here today. On behalf of Wilson Sporting Goods, we dearly say thank you for being a part of you and being part of these programs. Being part of the Clubs for Youth program has been eye-opening, and it definitely defines us as a brand and where we want to go and how we want to distinguish ourselves. So as a group, thank you guys so much. If I can help you with anything going forward with Wilson Sporting Goods, please let me know, and have a great day and play well today.
Next, from Golf Scorecards, Inc., we have Mike Suckling. Mike, are you in the room? All right, we'll move on then to Golf Pride Grips, Dee Lasker. Wanted to come up and say a few words?
Thank you, Dave. And thank you for the Southern California Golf Association for letting Golf Pride participate in a lot of your events. This past year, we sponsored 3 of the junior golf tour events, the assistants, north-south matches, and just throughout the year, Global Tour Golf, GT Golf helps filtrate our product into your golf shops, and so thank you so much for supporting our brand. Last night I got to come to the dinner, which is the first dinner I'd come to, and I told Tom Addis it was a pleasure to see the family that you have here. I'm a member of the LPGA tournament division, and I like what you have. I like how you're a family, and it's nice to see the mentoring and the support and all the things you do for each other. And I think that's very unique, and congratulations to all the winners of the awards last night. Very special. So thank you for supporting our brand. We have the new Align product, which we came out with this year, has an external rib on our product. And then we're also doing a lot of support with the Tour Sensor putter grips. So thank you all, and have fun playing today. The course looks like it's in awesome shape, and happy holidays to all of you. Thank you.
And before we just pass it back to Todd, we just want to thank Club Car for being the presenting partner of today's meeting and Pinehurst Championship. And for those who are not playing in the Pinehurst Championship, just a reminder, GT Golf, one of our other partners, will be doing an education around 11:30. So thank you, and back to Todd.
We've got we're pretty close to the election, and before, so I want to recognize our outgoing board of directors, and hopefully a couple of those folks won't be gone for very long, but we've got a few that we want to recognize. First is Bill Gorey. Bill is going to be the outgoing president of the San Diego chapter and has been a chapter rep for us. And I often, get a chance to go around to some of the other chapters and kind of see how everybody does it. And I would have to say, if you've never gone to a San Diego chapter meeting with Bill Gorey running it, you have missed out. It is as patriotic as it gets. It's as engaging as it gets. And he's a real inspiration. And Bill, if you just kind of come up here and receive a little recognition we have for you for your service on our board.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
You notice I didn't give you the mic. You'd gone on for a little while. That's something everybody in San Diego also knows. Next is Scott Hine for his service from 2014 to 2017 on our board of directors. Scott's been great, especially in the Metro chapter, kind of taking on some extra roles and kind of filling in some blanks along the way. And Scott, just come on up and be recognized for your 3 years on the board. I know we'll hear from Scott and Joe in here just a little bit, but our next one is our pastor, for those of you in the Metro chapter meeting. And I was actually surprised, Joe, that you didn't get the selfie today. That's the first time that's happened where somebody else got the selfie versus Joe. But Joe Groman, thank you very much for your 3 years on the board and for your service, and just a big round of applause for all you do for us. And now we're getting ready to head into our election, and per our bylaws, our chair of elections is our secretary, Mr. Robin Shelton.
As Todd mentioned, as secretary of your association, it gives me great honor to be the election chair and introduce to you our candidates. One point of information, when you registered this morning, you did get a ballot. Originally, there were 4 persons running to serve on the board. Mr. Jerome Andrews has withdrawn his nomination, or has withdrawn his participation, so there are only 3 people running for 2 positions on the board. So again, Andrews is out, and there are 3 people running for positions on the board. With that one, just thought we do have 3 candidates. For those of you thinking of running in 2018 or beyond, would love to have you participate. We can always use more diversity in the boardroom to make our organization look more like the world. So for those, whether it's gender or ethnicity or just in thought, we would love to have anybody who is, can bring just more diversity to our organization. That being said, the way the election will work today is we will have the 3 candidates. They will be presented in alphabetical order. There will be a nominator. Then the candidate will give a 3-minute speech, and then at the end, after all 3 candidates and nominators give their speech, we will then tally the votes and then come back to you at the end of the meeting with the results. So, going in alphabetical order, again, Mr. Andrews has withdrawn for a position on the board. Scott Hine is our first person to be running. He is being nominated by Mr. Mark Wilson. So Mr. Wilson, if you'd like to, you can come up and give a 3 minutes.
Alphabetically, G coming before H, but since you already did that, come on. Sorry, but it's a given.
Well, since you're here and since you're the outgoing guy, we'll give you the microphone now. 3 minutes.
2 for me, 3 for him. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. One of my new favorite lines is when my current boss comes in, sits down in a leather chair in my office and says, "You know what we need?" And that generally means several weeks of my life are going to be gone and in the back office. But that same guy is Mr. Scott Hine. Great teacher, player, GM. He's on finance committee, budget committee, membership committee. He's on the Metro executive committee. He just did 3 years on the board of directors. I did a couple of stints of that, and you would ask yourself after doing that why you would ever want to come back. And it's because he's like the most supportive boss, creative. He makes everything fun, and we need a lot of fun in our industry. He's a leader, probably extraordinaire, and he forced me to come up here and say all that. But honestly, he's doing a great job. He's done an outstanding job so far, and it's my pleasure to put the name of Scott Hine in for the board of directors today.
We have a nomination for Scott Hine. From the formalness, is there a second? Thank you for the second. Mr. Hine, if you'd like to come up and give your speech, you do have 3 minutes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scott Hine. I'm the general manager at Oakmont Country Club in Glendale. I've been a member since 2004, and this organization has been so good to me. I've gotten so much more out of it than I've ever given. I enjoy the opportunity to be involved. I think now, finishing my first 3 years, it's really exciting because it takes a little while to get to kind of know how the whole board thing works and to get involved. And I am, pretty involved now and really looking forward to continuing that journey and serving you if you'll have me. So thank you for all you do, and it's a wonderful organization. I'm proud to be a part of it. And, first off, also, I'd like to thank all the other board members, the president, Mr. Kiefer. What an amazing job they do. They're so committed, and it's such a good group to work with. And I think that's why, I'm seeking the opportunity to come back and continue my service. So thank you all, and have a wonderful day.
Mr. Hine, thank you. If you are wondering how the next alphabetical order name will be called, I will kill the suspense here. Next up will be Mr. Joe Groman from Navy Golf Course. Mr. Groman is being nominated by Bill Holbert. Mr. Holbert?
Thank you, Robin. My name comes after his, so maybe that's where the confusion was. I'm pleased to be up here to speak on behalf of Joe Groman. I've had the privilege of serving on our board for 25 years, so I've seen a lot of board members come and go. What I've noticed about those that truly stand out are, number one, they are engaged. Number two, they are part of the process. Number three, they are committed to the PGA member and the Southern California PGA. And number four, they are very passionate about what they do. I'm up here to nominate Joe because he checks off all four things on that list. Many of you know Joe. You know him as the funny guy who works a lot with social media. He does a tremendous amount of work with disabled kids and with wounded veterans. He's the head golf professional at the Navy Golf Course, and he's a multi-award winner at chapter and section level. As you saw, he won another award last night. He's also been our section golf professional of the year. But Joe's not about awards or recognition. He does what he does because he's committed and passionate about the causes that he truly, truly cares about and that are important to him and important to the game of golf. And that's why I ask you to vote for Joe Groman to continue his service as a board member for the next 3 years. He's the kind of leader that we need now and in the future. I respectfully nominate Joe Groman for an at-large position on the section board of directors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holbert. Joe Groman's name has been placed for consideration. Is there a second? Thank you. And then lastly, the third candidate is Eric Mitchell. And Eric, oh. Just take it away, Joe. Take it away. You got 3 minutes. 3 minutes and the clock starts.
All right. Thank you. It has been such a privilege to be on the board the last 3 years with Tuna and everyone else. You know, a lot of the stuff that I do is all team. Chairing the Disabled Golf Committee, all the stuff we do is team, always. When I'm in those board meetings, I feel that I have your best interests. I feel that I'm there for the team, for you guys. And I'm asking for your vote to give me 3 more years to have your backs in those board meetings. Thank you.
Well, Joe, with how quick that was, I could have just skipped you and it would have been just the same amount of time. All right, let's try this again. As Bill Holbert has just reminded me, I'm a double bogey start. So the next candidate who is interested in running for a position on the board is Eric Mitchell. Eric Mitchell is being nominated by Cameron Carr. Mr. Carr.
Thanks, Robin. As he said, I'm Cameron Carr. I'm from Anaheim Hills and Dad Miller Golf Course, and I've been asked to tell you a little bit about Eric Mitchell today, and it's an honor to do so. Eric is currently the first assistant golf professional at Anaheim Hills Golf Club, and he's worked with me there for about 4.5 years now. He's been a tremendous addition to our management team and an integral part of our success over the years. He's been a Class A member since 2015. He frequently volunteers with our guide, Joe Groman, with Wounded Warriors. He is the current Metro Chapter Vice President. He serves on both the Apprentice and Communications Committees for the SCPGA. He's the facilitating member of the Launchpad program, which is an online program designed to help Level 1 apprentices get through their bookwork and be a mentor to them. He's also our recreational services team member for the Annenberg Retreat at Sunny Lands and Rancho Mirage, where we provide instruction and caddy services for foreign dignitaries and diplomats during summit retreats and meetings. He's enrolled in the 2017-18 class of the PGA LEAD program, which is a national program designed to mentor a small group of individuals along a guided path to leadership roles in the association. Eric was one of 15 professionals in the U.S. to be enrolled in that class. And finally, he's our 2017 Assistant Golf Professional of the Year. I'm extremely proud of him. Needless to say, he's got a pretty awesome resume for a short 2.5 years as a PGA member. Now I'm going to let him come up here and tell you why you should vote for him today. But I will tell you, he's an absolute go-getter and doesn't take no for an answer, and is never satisfied with anything he ever does. So he's always getting after it. He possesses qualities like professionalism, honesty, and integrity. This guy is our future of the section, and I'd appreciate it if you considered him for a vote today. Thank you so much.
All right, the name of Eric Mitchell has been placed for consideration. Is there a second? Thank you. Mr. Mitchell?
Good morning, everybody. I just want to say thank you all for coming, and thank you to the staff at the golf course and the section staff especially for so much support for this meeting and the dinner last night. It's been amazing. The first thing I want to express, which I'm so proud that we get to do, nothing that I do in this world is not possible without my faith. My strength and everything comes from my faith in God, and that's why I'm able to do what I do with so much passion for other people. So I just wanted to give that praise first. That's important to me, and just want to say, hopefully for the other sympathizers, you feel the same way as well. My passion in life is to mentor those around me, other people. I want to make other people's dreams come true. I want to make their careers stronger. I know that when I do that, I become a better professional, a more wise professional, someone who's more understanding of those around me and what they're going through. My closest mentor taught me that the first time I heard him speak, the importance of serving others and making their careers better. As it was mentioned with the lead class, what I want to try to do, being on the board, is to change the numbers when we look at diversity and inclusion with regards to our association. If you were at the annual meeting, we saw numbers on that stuff. I want to see more people of different races up here. I want to see my female professionals up here. I want to see a younger age up here, such as myself. The only way to change the face of our organization is to see different faces up here, and I want to represent that any way that I can. As you can see from the photos up here, we know that the board is going to be in great hands for the next 3 years. There's no doubt about that, and what I'm asking is that at least one pair of those hands at that table could maybe belong to me. So with your support, I'd appreciate any of the votes that I could get for that. And I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. And have a great day. Thank you very much.
Sure. I'm here to make sure he gets it right. Actually, truth be told, as his caddy on the first hole, I misclubbed him. So.
But all the other ones were mine. For those wondering, I will not be tallying the votes. You can rest assured that it will all be going well. So at this point, there are 3 names for consideration for board of directors positions, and there are 2 positions that are open. So 3 names, 2 people, and Mr. Andrews, again, has withdrawn his name from consideration. So at this time, there will be section staff that will come through the aisles. So you can go ahead and cast your vote if you'd like to do so, but there will be section staff coming back and forth through the aisles. And then we have 3 past presidents that will tally the votes.
Thank you, Rob. We're going to take a 10-minute break while we get the votes tallied. So 10 minutes. If you do that. All right. All right, we're going to call this meeting back into order. Thank you very much for the time. I think everybody enjoyed taking a few minutes there, and We're going to be coming back with our election results here before the meeting ends. We wanted to go ahead and get into our officer reports, and there's just been a few things that we've kind of focused on this year as a section, in addition to all the other programming activities. But we started this year really kind of focusing on 3 areas, and the first area is really in the area of teaching. We really wanted to try to elevate our ability to teach and coach and mentor, and so we held the first California Teaching Summit at Virginia Country Club in October. Had over 300 folks attend, and it was just an incredible day, 2 days there with host Jamie Mulligan and the team at Virginia Country Club. They did a really remarkable job, and of course our very own Eddie Mehrens was there. And Eddie, I still have to tell you, for those of you who have not seen Eddie in person give his presentations, it's really remarkable. Thanks to Bryce Seaver, we've got those videos online at SCPGA.com. You can go on each one of them. But I know for myself, Mr. Mehrens, I'm still thinking about swinging through Chicago. So thank you very much for making that very special for us. We are going to be fortunate enough to go to the Grand Del Mar, where Sean Cox is going to do another California Teaching Summit for us in October. And I guess what I want you to kind of understand is that in terms of the dollars and interest and really resources, we're treating this as if it's our section championship, except for coaching and mentoring and teaching. And so those resources and focus and energies are all going to be focused in that way, and we really hope that we have a great time, and we know we will, and look forward to seeing many of you there. So again, that's been one of our areas of focus. The second area was in mentoring, and we had Eric Lohman up here. We recognized him as our chair. And Eric has done a phenomenal job getting our first influencer series off the ground, and there'll be a few more of those activities in the next couple years. Excuse me. And look forward to many more. The real hope is that you can take these back to your respective chapters and make them a part of your meetings. Oftentimes we could be accused of kind of talking to ourselves, where we really kind of only focus on those people we're familiar with. And these are opportunities to bring industry people in. Maybe they're close to us, maybe they're kind of have an interest in golf, but they can kind of come in and tell us a little bit something different and help us along no matter where we are in our careers. Because I know that whether it's some of our Hall of Famers or honorary life members that we've had, they're still mentoring and being mentored. And I think we all have that opportunity. We do have a few apprentices here today. If you're a new apprentice, will you just go ahead and stand up if this is your first meeting? Is there any new apprentices here in the room? Right over here. Thank you very much. I think we also have a few new regular members. I'm going to probably get this name wrong. Pat Vershavi? Vershave? Andrew Alderdy? Vimy Bertogni? Blake Frailing? I know Blake's here, I thought. Go ahead and stand up, Blake. And James Schatt, our new members. Congratulations on its big achievement. Lots of opportunities to mentor. Look forward to having you hopefully participate in some of these, and as well as with our apprentices. I know that Eric Mitchell, our AAA, our assistant professional of the year, is. Sorry, I'm getting a call. Yeah, for the light. It never stops ringing. But I know Eric did a tremendous job in really kind of helping our Catalyst program, and there's so many opportunities to be involved. Just encourage you to try to find something. I know we're all busy, and I know it's difficult to kind of spare some of that time, but that extra couple minutes, it will go a long way, and it's really, really, really valuable. I think the third area that you're going to hear a little bit later on is our area with our foundation. We recently restructured, beginning of last year, we restructured this program from an advisory committee into an actual formal board of directors, and we're fortunate enough to have Mr. Martin, I think Mr. McClure is here, and a few others, and Frank Tallarico is going to come up and say a few words as our foundation director, but that's been a huge area of focus, and with that is really our key initiative. This group, not to steal your thunder hopefully too much, but this group really committed itself earlier this year and really kind of did some difficult work to find that one thing that we could say, this is a key initiative for us. And there's lots of great programs, there's lots of different great ideas, but I think one key initiative that you could really rally around, and that was our Clubs for Youth program. And so it's been impressive. We've exceeded some expectations this year. We have some big goals for next year. And Frank's gonna go ahead and share a few things of that a little bit later on in the program. But I just wanted you to kind of understand that that's where the board's focus will remain in 2018. I think there's a lot of other opportunities. We talked about recognition. David Novak is the ex-CEO of Yum Brands and did a great presentation, and just encourage you to go on to the PGA of America's website and take a look at that presentation, because I think it'd have the greatest impact not only on your organization but also as you as a professional. And his focus is just really simple: recognition. And it seems pretty flimsy or kind of soft, in a day where we're trying to kind of focus on, revenue per rounds and merchandise revenues and really cost-cutting measures and all those different things that we're trying to kind of work our way out of, hopefully with some better economic times in front of us right now. But the whole focus is really find those things that are key to you and your organization and really reward people and have them be recognized for them. And that's what we try to hopefully do today with our program. So many of you have had great accomplishments throughout this year, and you're all to be applauded, and hopefully you take a look at some of those videos and they can have an impact on your organization. At this time, we'll go ahead and bring up our Vice President, Mr. Tony Latendre, to give the finance report.
Having the light here is great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. It's always nerve-wracking when you decide you want to be an officer in the section, and then your responsibility becomes vice president. It's all about the finances and whether or not our section is performing well and whether or not we have any money. So this is a little bit nerve-wracking, but I am happy to report, if you look at our first slide, that we are in a very, very strong financial position in our section. We have over $12 million in net assets. There is no debt on our headquarters building in Ontario. And it has appreciated significantly since our initial investment of about $1.3 million when we purchased the building. Our investment portfolio continues to do well also, and we continue to be able to draw our 4% allocation for section programming. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Our section realizes a little over $5 million annually. Our revenues exceed that. This slide I like because it shows you that a lot of the money that we do, or a lot of the revenue that we do generate goes back into section facilities. So it's our way of making sure that our section stays solvent, which is great. Also for 2018, our investment allocation will be $390,000, which is up from $385,000 last year. That's what supports our programs. Just as a reminder, the way we do this, we have an investment policy that states that we allocate 4% of the prior 3 years average to education, meetings, and player development programs. So this year, again, our draw will be $390,000 that'll go into our budget. As your vice president, it's also my responsibility to oversee the budget committee. This year, I'm proud to say that we took a new approach. We included chapter vice presidents on the budget committee so that we had all areas covered, all areas of our section covered. And I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize any of those vice presidents that are in the room. Could you please stand up, your section vice presidents, if you're here? I hope there's a couple of them here. I know Vic's here. Chapter vice presidents, I misspoke. Thank you, Bob. There's Paul. Thank you very much. So thank you very much for your time and dedication. I'd like to thank them and give them a round of applause. Over the last 3 months, this committee, as well as the staff, Tom, Jeff, the team at headquarters, they've done an amazing job at looking at the operating plan for 2018. They've been very diligent as far as looking at the plan, looking at all areas, all of the things that we do in our section and all of the programs that we're running, and taking a very good look at our budget and our operating plan for 2018. And I'm happy to say that yesterday at our Board of Directors meeting, the 2018 operating plan passed with a unanimous vote. So thank you very much for that. The next slide I have here shows a little bit about our investment portfolio. You know, we started with approximately $8 million, and the portfolio has continued to gain value, and it's reaching the $11 million mark, and I'm hoping by the end of my term that we'll get it there. It's always good to, when the market's good, it's always good to stand here and talk about that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite Jason Levy with Canterbury Consulting up to talk a little bit more about the specifics of the market. As I said earlier, we do continue to take our 4% in order to run section programming, yet our investment portfolio is still growing. So, Jason, if you wouldn't mind coming up and saying a few words, and while you're coming up here, I'd like to, on behalf of our section, thank you and Canterbury for everything that you guys are doing, because, you know, those of you that don't know, it's been a year since we've elected to let Canterbury make the decisions on our behalf rather than having a finance committee make a decision in relation to the market. We've allowed them to make those changes and be able to be more proactive and quicker on the button to be able to make changes, and we're seeing a lot of success. So Jason, to you and the team at Canterbury, thank you very much for that, and would love to hear a little bit about what's going on with our investment portfolio.
Good morning, everybody. Just to expand a little bit on the comments from Tony, and to bring it home a little bit more as it relates to how it supports all the great work that goes into all the things that you care about. This slide, I think, probably states the obvious. What everybody knows, you hear it in the news, you see it in your retirement plans, and then we saw it with the result that was just shown on the slide a moment ago. But markets in general have been extremely kind. What you're seeing with a lot of generic information here across various markets across the world is markets are up, and they're up a lot, which is great. On the left-hand side of the page, if you're looking at the board, is the stock markets. On the right-hand side is the bond market. And I think the surprise really at this point in the market is everything is positive, and the stock markets are not just slightly positive, they're extremely positive. So that's all very positive. And the other good thing is, to the extent that we advise on portfolios, and we always recommend diversification, you're never going to see us come up here and say, put all your eggs in one basket. That wouldn't be the prudent thing to do. So to the extent that you have a market that is rewarding investors who are spreading their chips into multiple areas, that has been very encouraging. I bring all this up because if we go one slide forward and we look at the results, I think the two biggest takeaways I would just encourage the group to think about for a moment is short-term results. If you look at the year-to-date or the 1 year, have been phenomenal. They've been double digits, mid double digits, and that's great. That's been a product of the slide that we just saw a moment ago, where stock markets have been up 15 and 20%. That will be fantastic if that continues. That probably will not continue indefinitely. We're probably not going to see stock markets go up 15, 20, 30% a year indefinitely. So this is not us ringing a warning bell, but just maybe some cautious optimism that we do think the economy is expanding. We do think there's more growth, but we do not think that we're going to have 14s and 15s forever. But I think probably the biggest takeaway, and this is what Tony was talking about, is you have a 4% spend rate that you pull out of the portfolio. And now we have a little over 8 years of history if you go all the way back to the top right corner, and the portfolio is averaging about an 8% a year return. And that's probably the most important thing to think about, because the objective here is for us to be able to grow the portfolio, support everything that Tony was speaking about, but also to grow it so that number year over year gets bigger and bigger, and there can be a greater impact. And so the committee and that we've been able to work with has done a phenomenal job in being able to navigate this market. And while it seems like the last few years have been really easy, I'm looking for Jeff, because I remember there were a few summers where it was not so fun when we had some of those crises that we were going through, trying to navigate the European markets as they were being kind of rocky in those first few years out of the financial crisis. But the committee did a really good job sticking to the discipline that required to get us that 8% return. And so really that's the name of the game over the long term, is just to see that nice consistent return that allows us to pull off that 4% spend and grow the portfolio. And that's why the building is paid off, and we do have a building that the section owns, and we do have a portfolio that has added a few $1 million over the years. So just the few takeaways I'll leave you with is results have been very strong. You've been able to grow the portfolio, and that leaves the section in a very strong financial position. And going forward, we're really trying to spread the chips as far across the table as possible, just because things have been so well. We think diversification is probably more important than ever right now, just given where we've run in the cycle and in the market. So just a little bit of high level there, and I'll pass it back on to Tony.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason. And again, thanks to you and the team at Canterbury for everything you guys are doing. And, I threw that number out there. You got until this time next year to make my report easy, okay? Please. All right, at this time, that concludes my report, Mr. President, and I will now turn it over to our Secretary, Robin Shelton, for his report. Thank you.
I recognize that the sooner I get done, the sooner we get on the golf course. And that'll give me making enough bogeys already. So very quickly here, on the screen is going to be our new members. So for all of our new members, if you are in the room, if you could just stand for a quick moment, if your name is on that list or if you are a new member. All right, I'm sure there's more than one. All right, well, again, welcome and congratulations. The next flag we'd like to recognize is our new apprentices. So if you are a new apprentice and your name is on that list, if you could please stand and be recognized. If you are a golf professional, if you're a head pro and one of those people is on that list, please bring them with you next time to help them get involved. Next list, quarter century members. We have our quarter century members in the room. Congratulate all of our quarter century members. Next slide is we got some cool data just as far as what's going on in the section, as far as just the overall number of chapters, overall number of members, and what positions they fill. So you can see that the San Diego chapter and the Desert chapter are running head to head for second place of who's got more members. And then the Metro chapter is the big beast here. Positions on your screen there, you can see where everybody falls. So if you just had any interest on how many members are GMs, head pros, teaching pros, assistant pros, and then the one that's always of interest is the other classification. So that could be your sales reps or just doing any other kind of fun stuff. So, yeah. So that's just the cool data for you to look at. This will be available on the SCPGA website if you want to look at it in more detail. And then the final slide, just a quick little overview of some of the membership programs that maybe don't get used enough. So just wanted to highlight those very, very quickly. Moving from left to right on your screen, you can see the new member and apprentice orientations. Those are fantastic ways to help you get connected, to meet other golf professionals and potentially find mentors. So those are things that I don't think that we use enough of. So whether it's for you or whether it's for your apprentices, that's something that I don't think we use enough of. Second item on the list is the employment outreach. Ken Farrell is here in the room somewhere. If you don't know Ken, he's the good-looking guy in the back of the room. He likes to run and likes long walks on the beach. He's a fantastic guy as a reference to use, whether it's for interviewing, resumes, cover letters, tell you about jobs that are open. But Ken Farrell is perhaps one of the best resources that we don't use enough. One-on-one workshops. We do one-on-one workshops that you can, if you want to be a GM or head pro, where you can spend 2 or 3 hours connecting with one person who is an expert in that area. There's no charge to you, and it is a fantastic program that people don't use enough of. So if you want to be a GM, you want to be a head pro, you can reach out to Tom Addis, and he will connect you with somebody. So it's a great education time. It's also a great time to potentially find a mentor and develop a relationship. So if you're interested in becoming a head pro or a GM, please reach out to Tom Addis on that. Teaching seminars. We do 2 incredible teaching seminars. I think many of you that went to the Virginia Country Club California Teaching Summit hosted by Mr. Jamie Mulligan thought it was probably fantastic. Next year's, if you have your calendar, write down October 22nd and 23rd at the Grand Golf Club, hosted by Sean Cox and his team. It promises to be another fantastic event with incredible education opportunities. And lastly, two of our online programs that we do, we call it the Launchpad and Catalyst. Launchpad is led by Eric Mitchell, and that's an incredible way for your apprentices to get through their level 1 work experience portfolios. And it's an online program done every week. And then our Catalyst webinars, those are education, which is done every other Thursday at 8 a.m. in front of your computer. Don't have to leave your office. You can get your MSR hours. For those that aren't aware, the next MSR cycle ends next June. So it's a good time to take advantage of those opportunities. And the Catalyst webinars are every other Thursday at 8 a.m. And with that, I will pass it back to Mr. Todd Kiefer.
Just one quick note, just to put another stat up there, 50% of this membership has yet to achieve its MSR accreditation for the cycle. There are a ton of opportunities, as we've discussed, whether it's through the programs up there or the rest of the calendar. So realistically, by the middle of June, it needs to be completed. Otherwise, there will be, I guess, a few issues. Our next person coming up, again, we talked a little bit about Frank Tallarico, our SCPGA Foundation president. Really proud of the effort that he's done in the boardroom, and I'd like to have Frank come up and just share a few words about the foundation.
Good morning. It is absolutely an honor to be here this morning to present what's been happening this last year with the foundation. I want to thank the board of directors for not only inviting me here this morning, but for having the wisdom to have a transition of sorts for the foundation from an advisory board to a governance board. And that may not sound very important, but it really is. And for that matter, I want to ask the foundation board members who are here this morning to stand up and be recognized. And Mr. Martin's here, and I see some others, so please join me in a round of applause. So you got this wonderful organization that's intending to do some great things, and if you don't have focus, nothing gets done. And so that's why we are so proud to be here this morning. The foundation isn't a nice to have, it's a gotta have in this business. And the reason I say that is because it's not just about, really cute pictures with little kids playing golf. It's about the future of the game. It's about the future of this business. And so for that, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to serve this section the way that we do. 2017 was a great year. It was the first year that we had this board in a governance role. It was the highest membership in the history of our junior tour at 2,600 members. We had 235 competitive events. That's 275 tournament days. That's a strong year. We were especially proud that donations in 2017 were above forecast. We had hoped to make or to raise about $100,000 in donations. We'll end the year closer to $175,000. So my hat's off to the staff and to all those generous benefactors that saw the wisdom of investing in junior golf. And with that, I'd like to also, he'll probably be a little angry with me, but I want to ask you to join me in a special thanks. Our host, the CEO here at Newport Beach Country Club, privately through his family's foundation and some others, has made a generous donation to the foundation in the amount of almost $60,000. Mr. Martin, thank you so much for your contribution. And lastly, you heard Mr. Kiefer speak of something called Clubs for Youth. It's probably going to be the biggest news in 18. And I don't say that lightly. And I say that especially because for the first time in the history of this section, again, the key word being focus, we looked forward and said, well, how do we grow the game of golf? And for the first time, let's do it with an eye towards girls golf. And so I want to thank our friends at Wilson Sporting Goods for supporting what we did in 17 and will continue to grow through 18. And that is specifically girls teams at the high school level, those players who couldn't afford to have a set of clubs. In 2017, this foundation generated enough revenue to purchase and supply 300 sets of clubs. That went to 29 different high schools. That's only 10% of the girls teams in Southern California, but still it's a start. In 18, you'll see this program double. Our goal is to raise revenue so that we can supply 600 sets of clubs. And of course, you might imagine, well, what about the boys? Well, that's what they said. And so in 18, we'll also be supplying clubs to those boys teams who otherwise wouldn't either be able to afford clubs or even worse, field a competitive team. So here we are drawing a straight line between a mission to grow the game of golf and those who will be the future of this game of golf. So at some point, you may get a phone call from us. And so my request of you this morning is answer the call. Thank you very much.
Awesome. It's Frank does our pregame pep talks. It's pretty impressive. We're really fortunate to have Frank in this role, and you know, one of the things that Frank has not really kind of indicated, I think most of you kind of know during his day job, he's the CEO of the Orange County Goodwill, and he, through his contacts, have actually secured a PR firm to really kind of work for us at no charge for the year of 2018 to really kind of carry that message. And so, you know, we kind of often talk about, hey, there's a little card on your table, go ahead and take it back and kind of post it at your club. But this is a significant program that we're not going to be shy about. And we really need the help of everybody here in this room and your colleagues back at your clubs to kind of recognize it, because so many can benefit from this. And those players with new equipment need coaches, and they need mentors, and they need a place to play. And it all ties together. So we're really excited to have Frank lead us in this regard, and it's going to be an exciting 2018, so please do answer the call. Our next presenter is our CEO, Mr. Tom Addis, to kind of give us a little update on the staff. That's not yours.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thanks to everyone, and welcome to Newport Beach Country Club, and I'll echo the thanks to Kevin and the staff here for hosting us in this grand venue. It's a privilege to be here, so thank you for that. I'm not going to take very long. One thing I want to clear up is I happen to be one of the other member classifications that you're concerned about out there. So as a matter of fact, I have two classifications. I get to use the past president classification whenever I'd like to. And I also am a golf administrator in classification because I work with you and for you, so I am an other in that regard. I'd like to recognize our staff who just walked into the room. Thank you all for being here. Over in the corner of the room in the red ties, and I'm not going to introduce everybody name by name, but most of you work with this great staff, and Jeff's over in the corner over here for some reason, so we have Jeff over here and the staff over here, the rest of the staff over here. So we have one of the more qualified section staffs in this country. We're fortunate to have 19 people work in our building, and every day is a pleasure to go into that building. And those of you who have been to 3333 Concourse Street know that. So. And we welcome you more so. We'd love for you to be able to visit us and see what we do and how we can help you. But please give a round of applause to the entire staff over in the corner over there. It's my pleasure to work with every single one of them. We do that on a daily basis, and it's my privilege. We do want to recognize one staff person this morning. She's been with the section, Sharon's been with the section for 20 years now, and that's quite an accomplishment, going back to a few other offices, notably Beaumont and then elsewhere, clear back to Lincoln Avenue, if I'm not mistaken. That may be a little bit too far. No? Okay. I was going a little bit too far back. But at this time, to celebrate 20 years of working with the section, and most of you know her, and she's very insistent, especially in the new member orientations and the apprentice orientations, to call herself your best friend. And she is, especially during MSR period time, where you need advice and you need credits. She can't just arbitrarily give you any or sell you any, but although she would like to. But at this time, I'd like to call up Ms. Sharon Kerfman to receive a little bit of appreciation. I think that's one thing, and a great thing about Sharon is her humility, and she really puts it out front for all of us who work with her, and it's a pleasure every day to come in and spend time with Sharon and the rest of the staff. Thank you all for what you do. Great meeting this week. I know it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort leading up to this meeting, and other events that we do manage and run, and we appreciate the opportunity, and thank you very much. Mr. President, thank you.
Okay, that concludes our reports. The rest of those will be online at scpga.com if need be. So at this point, we'll take a first call for old business, second call, first call for new business. Any new business?
Hi, I'm Ryan Trengro, the Director of Production, and I was just at the SCPGA show. They hired me to set up a booth there to see if there's any golf interest, and I thought it'd be good for me to tell everybody that I was at the show. We had over 500 people sign up for our golf contest, and actually the ski show owner next year wants a lot of golf vendors to come to give out free lift tickets, and maybe like we do at the golf show in LA, we do free skis or things like that. And so basically, I just wanted to let everyone know about it. If anyone's interested, please contact me. I'd be happy to tell you guys about it and get in contact with the show owner.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other new business? New business. Okay, last call. Open forum. Any member can speak. We ask that you limit your comments to 2 minutes, but congratulations. And please know, I know that Eric is our vice president of our Metro chapter and will continue to be available and serving. And so Eric, I know that it's your day's coming soon. Thank you very much for running. There was one other honorary director position that we give out. The SCGA recently held its elections, and Mr. John Bilger, who's at La Jolla Country Club, will now be serving as the SCGA president for 2018. And so we'll have sent John a little plaque and money clip in recognition of his honorary position on our board for 2018. At this point, we'll bring up Mr. Max Despain to talk about golf today. Max.
Thank you, Todd. I'd first like to congratulate all the Player of the Year recipients for this year and their exceptional play. Kenny Pigman, Allison Curd, Erica Logan, John Fiedler, Paul Wise, and Raj Semra. We have made up of a lot of good players in the section, and to receive a Player of the Year recipient is quite an honor, so I want to congratulate all of them. The 2018 schedule is also up online, so I'd encourage you all to check that out. We're going to visit some very fine facilities next year, from La Quinta Country Club hosting the section championship, to Fairbanks Ranch, to Hacienda, to Coronado, to Wilshire Country Club. So looking forward to seeing you all out there as well. And don't forget, by participating in events, you do receive MSR credits. So just encourage you to get out there more. For today's competition, it will be Pinehurst. Both players of the team will be teeing off and then hit their player's ball on the second shot. From there, the players will select their best ball and alternate shot until the ball is holed. Note that the ball that you select must be holed. Once you get on the putting green, you cannot change out your golf balls. Men will be playing from the Seahorse course tee markers. Women will be playing from the red course tee markers. Once you get out there, you'll see your golf carts will be staged. We have your scorecards out there, hole locations, notice to competitors. Make sure to review your notice to competitors. The practice range will also be staged. I just ask you to all be courteous. We have 120 players out there. I'll give you about 45 minutes to warm up and whatnot. So just be courteous on the practice range when you're out there getting loose so everyone has opportunity to hit a couple balls. We're going to get out here a little early, so I'll kind of move back the start time for the shotgun start. We'll begin at 11:15. So I'll give, like I said, about 45 minutes. When you exit here, you can go down and get changed. The locker room is right below us. I ask you do not change in the parking lot, and please be courteous of that. The sun sets at 4:36, so let's play ready golf today. Also, thank you very much to our generous partners. Today's purse is $14,000. And also, Jimmy John's, one of our partners today, will be providing the lunch. So when you exit, they'll be down there about 11 o'clock. So make sure you pick up your Jimmy John's box lunch. And finally, big thank you to Newport Beach Country Club and all their staff for making this a wonderful day and for hosting us. And looking forward to seeing you all out there on the golf course. Thank you very much.
Well, this concludes our annual meeting. Education will take place, I believe, in this room about 11:15. And for those of you playing today, play great. And for those of you that are not, we'll see you at the next meeting. This meeting is adjourned. Update, education, 10:45 a.m. education.